The streets of Port Charles have seen their share of danger, heartbreak, and shocking betrayals. But nothing could have prepared residents for the terrifying chain of events that unfolds in this explosive General Hospital spoiler scenario. One moment, Jocelyn Jacks is fighting to uncover the truth about a dangerous enemy. The next, a gunshot echoes through the night, sending shockwaves across town. As Jocelyn fights for her life, Carly Spencer rushes to General Hospital in absolute panic, terrified that she may lose her daughter forever. Meanwhile, another devastating revelation rocks Port Charles when Lulu Spencer discovers that the man she opened her heart to was never who he claimed to be. Lives are changed forever as secrets explode, trust is shattered, and families face unimaginable fear. Jocelyn had been growing increasingly suspicious for weeks. The clues didn't add up. Too many people were lying. Too many mysterious connections kept pointing toward the same dangerous circle. Despite repeated warnings from Carly, Jason, and even Anna Devane, Jocelyn refused to walk away. She believed the truth was worth fighting for. Unfortunately, someone else believed the truth was worth killing for. Late one evening, Jocelyn receives an anonymous text message. The sender claims to have information that could expose a major criminal operation currently operating in Port Charles. The message includes a location, a warehouse near the docks. Jocelyn knows it could be a trap, but she also knows it could be the breakthrough she's been searching for. Ignoring every warning, she heads there alone. It becomes the worst decision of her life. The warehouse appears abandoned, dark, silent, empty. Jocelyn cautiously enters. Her heart races as she scans the room. Then she hears footsteps. At first, she believes the mysterious informant has arrived. Instead, a shadow emerges from the darkness. The figure's face remains hidden. Jocelyn immediately senses danger. She demands answers. The stranger says nothing. Instead, the figure slowly raises a weapon. Jocelyn freezes. For a split second, neither moves. Then everything happens at once. A struggle, a scream, a gunshot. The sound echoes across the waterfront. Jocelyn collapses to the ground. Blood begins spreading across her jacket. The shooter disappears into the darkness. And Port Charles is about to receive devastating news. At home, Carly is attempting to distract herself. Like any mother, she worries constantly about her children, especially Jocelyn. Something has felt wrong lately. A nagging feeling she cannot shake. Then her phone rings. The moment she answers, her entire world changes. A trembling voice delivers the horrifying news. Jocelyn has been shot. She's being transported to General Hospital. The severity of her injuries remains unknown. Carly can barely breathe. For a moment, everything around her disappears. The room, the noise, the conversation. Nothing matters except one thing. Her daughter. Without wasting another second, Carly races out the door. Witnesses are stunned when Carly arrives at General Hospital. She bursts through the entrance like a woman possessed. Terror fills her eyes. She demands information immediately. Nurses attempt to calm her down. Nobody succeeds. Every second feels like torture. Every unanswered question increases her fear. When Carly finally spots the emergency team rushing Jocelyn through the hospital, her heart nearly stops. The sight is worse than anything she imagined. Jocelyn is unconscious, covered in blood, surrounded by doctors. Carly breaks down. The possibility of losing her daughter suddenly becomes terrifyingly real. Word spreads quickly throughout Port Charles. Jason Morgan learns about the shooting and immediately heads to the hospital. When he arrives, he finds Carly struggling to stay composed. She is devastated, terrified, angry. Jason knows there are no words that can erase her pain. Still, he remains by her side, just as he always has. Carly demands answers. Who shot Jocelyn? Why? Was she targeted? Was this random? Jason silently makes a promise. Someone is responsible, and he will find them, no matter what it takes. Inside the operating room, doctors work frantically. The bullet caused severe internal damage. Complications continue emerging. Every minute becomes critical. The medical team refuses to give up, but the situation remains dangerous. Outside, Carly waits through the longest hours of her life. Memories flood her mind. Jocelyn's childhood, her first day of school, family holidays, every milestone, every smile. The thought of losing those future moments becomes unbearable. For perhaps the first time in a long while, Carly feels completely powerless. News of the shooting spreads rapidly. Friends and family rush to the hospital. Trina Robinson is devastated. She cannot believe her best friend is fighting for her life. Michael arrives determined to support Carly. Even Sunny is shaken. Whatever differences may exist among the people of Port Charles, they all agree on one thing. Jocelyn never deserved this. The waiting room becomes filled with fear, prayers, and uncertainty. Nobody knows whether Jocelyn will survive. As investigators begin examining the crime scene, a shocking clue surfaces. A witness claims to have seen someone fleeing the warehouse. More importantly, the witness believes they recognize the suspect. The name immediately sends shockwaves through the investigation. Could someone close to Jocelyn be involved? Or is someone intentionally trying to frame an innocent person? Anna Devane quickly realizes this case may be far more complicated than it first appeared. Nothing is adding up, and the deeper she digs, the more dangerous the truth becomes. While Port Charles focuses on Jocelyn's condition, another emotional bombshell is about to explode. Lulu Spencer has finally allowed herself to trust again. After years of heartbreak, loss, and disappointment, she believed she had found someone special, someone genuine, someone worthy of her love. Unfortunately, appearances can be deceiving. A shocking discovery reveals that the man Lulu trusted has been living a lie. His identity, his past, even his feelings. Nothing may be what it seemed. The truth comes to light unexpectedly. Lulu stumbles upon evidence she was never supposed to find. At first, she refuses to believe it. The documents must be fake. The information must be wrong. But the more she investigates, the clearer the truth becomes. The man she loves has been deceiving her from the very beginning. His name isn't even real. Every promise suddenly feels meaningless. Every memory becomes tainted. Every declaration of love sounds like manipulation. Lulu's heart shatters. Determined to get answers, Lulu confronts him. The encounter quickly becomes emotional, explosive, painful. At first, he denies everything. Then the evidence becomes impossible to dismiss. Cornered, he finally admits the truth. Yes, he lied. Yes, he hid his identity. Yes, he manipulated situations to get closer to her. The confession leaves Lulu stunned. Tears fill her eyes. The betrayal cuts deeper than she ever imagined. The man she loved never truly existed, only a carefully crafted fraud. As Lulu struggles to process the revelation, her family rallies around her. Laura becomes especially concerned. She knows how much Lulu has endured. She also knows how devastating emotional betrayal can be. Dante feels protective, furious. If someone intentionally targeted Lulu, there will be consequences. The Spencer family has survived countless crises, but this betrayal feels intensely personal, especially because Lulu allowed herself to become vulnerable. Now that trust has been destroyed, the biggest shock may still be ahead. Investigators begin uncovering evidence suggesting the fraud had a specific reason for targeting Lulu. This wasn't random. This wasn't accidental. Someone wanted access to information, connections, secrets. The relationship itself may have been part of a larger scheme. If that's true, Lulu wasn't simply deceived. She was used. The realization leaves her devastated and furious. As Jocelyn's medical crisis unfolds and Lulu's betrayal explodes, Port Charles finds itself overwhelmed by chaos. Families are pushed to their limits. Relationships are tested. Old enemies emerge from the shadows. Meanwhile, investigators begin noticing possible links between the two storylines. Could the fraud connected to Lulu also have ties to the people responsible for shooting Jocelyn? The possibility cannot be ignored, especially as new evidence surfaces. What initially appeared to be separate tragedies may actually be connected. Hours after surgery begins, Carly remains at the hospital, exhausted, terrified, emotionally shattered. Yet one emotion continues growing stronger: rage. Someone tried to kill her daughter. Someone nearly destroyed her family. Carly wants justice, and she wants it immediately. When detectives provide limited information, her frustration explodes. She refuses to sit quietly while the investigation drags on. If law enforcement cannot find the shooter fast enough, Carly may decide to take matters into her own hands. That decision could create even more danger. Finally, a doctor emerges from surgery. The waiting room falls silent. Every eye focuses on the physician. Carly can barely stand. The doctor delivers the update everyone has been desperately waiting for. Jocelyn survived the operation. Relief sweeps through the room. Tears immediately begin flowing. But the celebration remains short-lived. The doctor explains that Jocelyn is not out of danger yet. Complications remain possible. The next 24 hours will be crucial. The fight isn't over, not even close. Eventually, Jocelyn begins regaining consciousness. The process is slow, painful, confusing. When she finally opens her eyes, Carly is sitting beside her bed. The emotional reunion brings tears to both mother and daughter. For a brief moment, hope returns. But Jocelyn remembers something: a detail from the shooting, a voice, a phrase, a clue she heard moments before the gun fired. The information could identify her attacker. Unfortunately, revealing it may place her in even greater danger. Meanwhile, Lulu reaches a crossroads. She can allow betrayal to destroy her, or she can fight back. After days of heartbreak and reflection, she reaches a decision. The fraud who manipulated her will not get away with it. She wants answers, the whole truth. No more lies, no more secrets, no more games. With support from her family, Lulu begins her own investigation. What she discovers could expose a conspiracy larger than anyone imagined. As Port Charles moves forward, the consequences of these shocking events continue unfolding. Jocelyn's recovery remains uncertain. The identity of her shooter remains hidden. Carly's thirst for justice grows stronger every day. Jason prepares for a dangerous hunt. Anna follows a trail of clues that may lead directly to a powerful enemy. And Lulu inches closer to uncovering the full extent of the deception that shattered her heart. The biggest question remains unanswered: who pulled the trigger? And what secret was important enough to justify attempted murder? One thing is certain: the answers will change everything. Port Charles stands on the edge of another explosive chapter filled with betrayal, revenge, heartbreak, and shocking revelations. As Jocelyn fights to reclaim her future and Lulu struggles to rebuild her trust, both women find themselves connected by a painful truth. The people they believed in may be far more dangerous than they ever imagined. And when the final secrets are exposed, nobody in Port Charles will be left unchanged.